G'day, welcome to Lounge Chats. This is Troy Miller, and I've just started a new podcast, and I think I'm just going to talk to different people in the comfort of my lounge room and just discuss different topics that are going on in the world. Probably just scroll through like Facebook and just talk about the news. And I've only got like 4 friends, so I'll probably circulate through like 4 friends. But today I'm joined by my brother. His name's Josh, and he's already got a topic he wants to talk about, so let's get fucking straight into it. Josh, you got to talk.
Look, I'm just going to jump straight into it. So there's been a topic that it's really quite disgusting. It happened in America in, where was it? Minneapolis, I think, yeah.
We're talking about the guy that got killed by the police.
Yeah, disgusting. So this bloke was when he was arrested, he was detained, he was handcuffed, he had no weapons on him. The police officer applied unnecessary force, and in George Floyd is his name, unfortunately passed away due to this. And it is kicked off over there, and rightfully so. I say take it right to him, because disgusting. There needs to be something that I read actually. When was it? Yesterday, I think, on Facebook. You know, we can trust Facebook because it's always right. But apparently, this police officer that was involved, that caused the death of this man, has been involved in 3 other shootings. So why the actual fuck is this bloke still wearing a uniform?
How gross was it the way... You seen the video here? He was looking... Like, the look in his eye was...
He was pleading for help.
No, I'm talking about the police officer. The look in his eye was, I am going to kill this man. I don't give a fuck. And if anyone comes near me, I'm either going to shoot them or pepper spray them. And he had his knee... the way he was looking, he just looked like, I know I'm killing him and I don't give a fuck. I can get away with this. I'm above the law. And
white supremacy is all I saw. He looked like a... just...
You reckon he was a member of the Ku Klux Klan there, Joshua?
Look, nothing surprises me with those crooked cops. So, disgusting. Hopefully something.
Well, my question is, why, if you were standing on the footpath there, and I know it's different in America, but if you were standing on the footpath there in Minneapolis or wherever the hell it was, and you were one of them bystanders and you seen a police officer doing that, would you run up and, try to tackle him off if you seen a guy struggling? Or would you be... Is this where the gun laws comes back into it? Well, I mean, not even the gun laws, just the fact that coppers in America seem to pull guns on anyone who they stop on the side of the road. So, like, if you go to pull a copper off, are you going to be a bit... That sounded a bit weird, pull a copper off, but, like, if you're going to go up and try to intervene and push the cop off this guy...
You're going to get shot.
Yeah, so...
Like, the moral thing, if I was there, my heart would be telling me to go and help this man, but my head would be telling me do not touch him because you're going to end up with a bullet in your head. So, the American, justice system really needs a good clean out, I think, because there's too much. I don't know what I read the other day, but I forget what the statistic was, but the amount of people that are killed by police brutality in America every year, and innocent people at that, it's through the roof, and I do not understand how they keep getting away with it. It's pathetic.
All right, it was switching things up a bit because, we want to try and, like, we want to talk about things around the world, but have you seen the news story, actually? I haven't asked you this yet. Have you seen the news story about the 30-year-old man that died in Blackwater from coronavirus? Now, here's here's my take on this. So they've said he's died from coronavirus, yet there's been...
He had cancer.
No. That was another myth that was put out there. I read something this morning. You can't believe everything you read, but what had happened is he'd had a party the other week with like 20 people there, and now they've had to go and like trace test all of them because they could have been susceptible to getting it or whatever, being around him. But no. So what happened was he hasn't been around. They don't know where he's got it from. They haven't been around anyone who's had it, but for the last couple of weeks he's had a respiratory infection, and also he's been having seizures and other medical issues from November last year. Now, I just think that maybe he's kicked the bucket just from one of these underlying medical diseases, and they've decided that we're just going to tick it off as COVID because the hospitals get more money that way.
Look, they've tested it. Apparently, from what I've read, is he come into contact with a nurse from somewhere. I'm not sure where. Yeah, she's passed it on. The thing I don't get is though, like he had a I don't know if it was his wife or a girlfriend but he had someone in the house with him the whole time. A partner of whether it was his wife or girlfriend, I don't know which. Either way, if you saw someone that's obviously fairly ill, wouldn't you be trying to get them to the especially with the things that are going on in the world now with the COVID and everything? If you saw someone that was quite obviously struggling, because it doesn't just hit you overnight, like it's obviously been struggling with this for a few days. Like I don't know, has she been pushing him to go to the doctor or the hospital or whatnot, and is it a case that he's just a stubborn male? Because we know we're all like that. We'll be right. We'll get over it. We don't need to worry about going and seeing a doctor or. Yeah, so there's so many unanswered questions there, and it'd be interesting to see what else comes out of this, because like Blackwater, I don't know if anyone's been there before. I mean, I've been there once, and it's not a real big town, so I'm going to assume that most of the town's probably going to know each other. I think there's a pub and a IGA, I think, like tiny little mining town. So it's going to be interesting to find out how many people he's actually been in contact with in the last 2-3 weeks. So this could be a much bigger story. Yet apparently he was a worker in a mine up there too. So so
he was a worker at a mine, but he has been off work with all these underlying health conditions, which underlining. What did I say?
Lying, not lining.
Same shit. I don't care. He's been off work with all the underlying underlying health conditions, and but. Because I read something the other week about, this guy was in America and he'd had cancer for fucking 3 years, and he went into hospital because the cancer had got the better of him, and he eventually passed away from cancer. They then ticked it off on his death certificate that he died from COVID-19, and then there was another guy, and how did he die? It was... He had a heart attack, I'm pretty sure. He had a heart attack and just dropped dead, and they signed it off as COVID-19. And the reason they do this is because the hospitals get more funding for every COVID, because you get a grant for every COVID-19 death you have in your hospital for some reason. I don't know how it works, but so everything's getting... The statistics are wrong. The statistics are wrong. There's been a higher amount of deaths, COVID-19 deaths reported than there actually has been, And it all comes down to the whole funding thing that the government gives hospitals for every COVID death they
So,
have.
out of the 100,000 people that have died in America, what percentage of that has actually been from COVID?
Well, it's hard to know, Josh. I don't actually know. I'd nearly say, I'm not educated, but I reckon 50% of that, mate. Probably not even 50%. I don't know. It's hard to know. Like, I don't trust the government, and like, I don't know enough to talk about the sort of topic, but just from the things that I've read and the things that I've heard, I make up my own opinion on things, and I just think it's a little bit dodgy. Because I haven't heard anything about COVID-19 for fucking 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden this 30-year-old out of nowhere gets COVID up in Blackwater. Blackwater hasn't even had any cases. He's the first case that they've had up there. And now they're trying to say it was from some rampant frickin' nurse that come up from Rockhampton down to... And she drove a 400-kilometre round trip just to see a sunset. And now they're trying to pin the blame on her. But wouldn't he have had to have come into contact with this nurse?
Where did the people come from that supposedly were at this party?
None of them. They were all from Blackwater. None of them had I don't.
So
there's 2 people left. There's 2 people left out of that 20. So 18 have been tested. 18 have come back negative. The girlfriend came back negative. She's being tested again. She's in isolation. What a shit time.
You have to get 3 negative tests, I'm pretty sure.
That's only if you've been tested
but
positive.
you got to isolate for 2 weeks regardless.
Yeah, but that's if you've been tested positive. You have to get the 3 negatives. But imagine that your freaking your fiance dies and then you got to be isolated for 2 weeks. What a fucking shit time. But anyway, back to it. So 18 of them have been tested. They come back negative. And then
how long?
The 2 remainder are still to be tested on Thursday, I believe.
Yeah.
No.
So they're in Blackwater.
Yesterday.
I believe there's 2 mines in Blackwater. How many of them are mine workers? And with this COVID thing, just because you don't have the actual illness yourself doesn't mean you might not. You may be a carrier. So if they're working at a mine and they're working with who knows how many other people, but they're associating in their camps and they're eating dinner together at night.
FIFO.
This has the potential to be quite a significant hit if one of those people, not necessarily actually contract the disease, the virus themselves, but if they were to carry it and infect someone else and they're unaware, disastrous. But anyway, let's get off that for a minute. Another thing I wanted to...
I had something else that I wanted to say about that first before you leave that topic. What was it? Something about Blackwater, was it? No, I don't know. I don't care. Go on.
So this Jack Stephen thing, I'm interested to see what your take is on on the stabbing incident that supposedly
I don't know anything about it.
Taking place.
I don't know anything about it. The last thing I heard was that there was suspicion that his girlfriend or ex-girlfriend may have stabbed him in the chest, but I don't know. I don't like commenting on. He's a bloke he's been public with his battle with mental health issues and stuff, and I think we should just let her sleep and. That's the thing.
Did you see the Sam McClure comment to Eddie Maguire? I believe. Eddie believes that.
No, I agree with
Stephen has to come out and tell the public. Exactly what's happened, why he's been stabbed.
No, Eddie's been misunderstood. Eddie doesn't think that Jack Stevens should come out and inform everyone what happened. Eddie thinks that Sam McClure, as a reporter, has a duty to ask the questions, even if Jack Stevens not going to answer it. It's his job to ask the hard-hitting questions, and Sam McClure's been a little bit sensitive. But I also see where Sam McClure's coming from as well, because in this day and age...
I don't see the personal lives of the AFL football players, as long as they're not bringing the integrity of the game into disrepute or whatever you want to call it, it's got nothing to do with us. They're entitled to have their private life kept to themselves. You know, like, what about... Eddie's done pretty well to cover up this whole DeGoey thing. DeGoey, how much drama does he have to get into? And it seems to be swept under the carpet.
Yeah, but they're not sweeping it under... This isn't about sweeping it under the carpet. The whole issue is that Eddie and Sam McClure had was that as a journo, you have a job to report facts. Or,
yeah,
well, you should be reporting facts.
The factor of the matter is it's got nothing to do with anyone.
But as a journo, you need to ask the question. That's what you're employed to do. That's what a journalist is.
He's a sports journalist. He's paid to report on the sports side of things.
Yeah, but you get...
Not the personal lives.
Yeah, but... So, fucking, like, Damien Barrett was a sports journalist. Craig Hutchison. You got Eddie Maguire himself. Caro Wilson. They're all sports journalists. You don't think they've asked hard questions? Like... It's what they're paid to do. It doesn't mean and as like Eddie said, if he says, no, I don't want to talk about that, then you say, okay, I respect that. There's your grab. He'll talk to you at a later date. Like, you're not just going to keep... If you ask the question and he says no, you're not just going to keep pushing him, because that breaks down all sorts of trust and boundaries and stuff. But you need to ask it once. That's all I'm going to say. I agree with it.
Turn around. Why'd you get stabbed? Oh, it was a fucking drug deal that went wrong. He's not going to turn around and say that, is he? Because we know he's had a lot of mental health issues in the past, and who knows what sort of road he's let himself down. That's just a whole other can of worms.
Josh, that's speculation.
That is speculation, but I'm saying that's what's been in the media. That's the speculation that's been
I need to start reading the news more, because I don't know. The last thing I read, and it was on Facebook, was about his girlfriend or ex-girlfriend.
There's been speculation being put around everywhere. Yeah, it was drugs, and he's had mental health issues, and he's probably gone down there. Like, it's just a whole... It's not going to help him. It's not going to help him having this speculation around. We know that's been pretty public with his mental health issues and all that jazz, but anyway...
Josh, the sad reality is no one gives a fuck about if it's going to help them or not. This is the other thing I want to speak about briefly, is the whole mental health thing, specifically men's mental health, and this whole Facebook challenge that was going around. And then you got people who come out and they try to defend it, and I understand that they're trying to raise awareness for men's mental health. But it's a ridiculous thing to do. Even the push-up thing. Like, I got mates that do the push-ups and they drink the beer and that, and I got nothing against them. Like, they're trying to raise awareness. But it's sending the wrong message. And Beyond Blue and organisations like this aren't going to endorse alcohol and, you know, put things like this out into the... Like, someone's made it up and just said, yeah, donate to Beyond Blue. And no, I'd rather just fucking have a conversation with someone. If someone's a bit upset, I'd like them to just come and, you know, talk to me. And I'd like to hope that if I was a bit upset, I'd be able to go and talk to someone and not, like, go on Facebook and think, oh, yeah, drinking's probably a fucking good idea to get rid of this, because we all know what happens when I drink too much when I'm depressed. I end up in trouble. And that's just my personal experience. But, like, alcohol's not good for anyone. It's a depressant. But anyway, off that subject, because it's a bit of a touchy one. And the thing is, like, a lot of people don't care still. Like, I have got something I want to touch on just before we leave this subject. Do you think... And, like, this is touchy as fuck, but do you think this day and age, everyone is a little bit more mentally fragile than they might have been, say, 30 years ago? Like, depression's such a... It's it's the awareness is out there. It's such a big thing now, depression and anxiety. But I feel like a lot of people fall back onto it just for a cop out or an excuse, like I can't do this because I've got anxiety, or I'm feeling down, I got depression. Sometimes it's okay to feel sad. It doesn't necessarily mean it's depression. We all have bad days. Depression is when it's a continuous thing and it doesn't let up, and it lasts and it lasts and it lasts, and then you need to intervene and sort of try to.
Of course, if you're gonna
But I'm talking more about the younger generation, and I'm not talking about teenagers either, because I'm not judging. I'm talking about, like, I've got a lot of 23 to 25, even 26-year-old female friends on Facebook, and this is gonna be controversial, but a lot of them use mental health as an excuse for the way that they live their lives. I'm a slut. It's because I've got depression, or I've got anxiety, or I can't get a job because I got anxiety. I can't fucking do this. I can't do that. This happened because of this. And then they make up mental fucking illnesses. Like, I've got PTSD because when I was a kid, I see my dad having a wee or something. Something fucking stupid like that. I don't know. I just think a lot of people use it as a cop-out.
People do play on the mental health. Like, there's a lot of people out there that are actually struggling. And I think it does. It takes away from those people when you've got someone's had a bad day. Someone's called them a fuckwit, and they're a little bit sad, and now they're depressed because depression is an ongoing thing. It's a mental it's an imbalance. It's a chemical imbalance in the brain. It's actually a medical thing. People do play on it, and I think that's why there's a good majority of people that when, especially a male, comes up to you and they say, I'm not feeling the great, they don't like talking about it because
the stigma.
It's the stigma around it. Some people might not take you seriously because they're so used to hearing people just say, oh, I've got depression, I've got anxiety, I've got fucking bipolar.
I think it's an uncomfortable topic too for people.
People self-diagnose. If you want to be diagnosed with something, go to the doctor.
Yeah, but I think it's uncomfortable, like you were saying. A lot of people don't. I don't think it's that they don't take it seriously. I just don't think they know how to respond. So if someone says, mate, I'm not going too well, they're harden up, mate. Here, bloody, have a beer. You'll be all right, buddy. And they sort of blow it off because they don't know how to react. We're not equipped to deal with sensitivity, and it's just our culture. It's our Australian culture. But I think as the years go on, we're getting less and less, not mentally tough, but like less. We're not able to take
political correctness and all that, and the way that kids are just mollycoddled and wrapped in cotton wool and. Just, I don't want to sound. It's kids are becoming mentally weaker because of the way that they're being raised. There, I've said it. All right, it's the way society's going. It's not like back in the day when you'd be running outside and you'd be fucking riding your bike and kicking the footy and falling over and bindi eye patches bigger than your fucking rug in your lounge room. Like,
remember that day you fucking
grazed all up your knees, all up your elbow, and you'd get up and you'd shake it off.
No, you wouldn't. Remember that day you tackled me into the fucking bindi eyes down in Victoria and had them all through me back? I didn't just get up and shake them off. I cried me cunt out because I had, and I'm not talking about your piss weak bloody little Queensland bindies that get stuck in your foot and you can't even feel them half the time. I'm talking about Victorian bindi eyes.
The rhino, whatever they're called.
Three-pronged motherfucking nail motherfuckers. All them
like
in my
half-inch fucking an inch-long spike. Yeah, but
anyway. We'll come back to this topic, but I just wanted to... Talking about the bindi eyes, remember that time I dislocated my finger trying to tackle you and fucking... my finger hurt that much. I don't know why I'm talking about this. And I ran outside barefoot through all the bindi eyes. Didn't even feel them. Anyway, back to your conversation.
Yeah, no, all I'm saying is that these days, like, and I've witnessed it a lot, and very topical. Probably, a lot of people would have be up and up, but that's just the way society is. They get all up in arms about the truth, basically. And I don't care. Kids these days, they fall over, they scrape their knee, and holy crap, fucking hell, isn't it a big show? And it's just the way society is, because, you know, everyone can be sued for every fucking thing.
There's still parents out there that, you know, tell them, get up, it's not leaking, you know, dust it off, don't cry. But there comes like...
I'm not having a go at anyone either. I'm just saying.
There's like a line where...
Let kids be kids. We're going to make them mentally weak, and they're gonna become reliant on... That's how kids become reliant. Something goes wrong, they rely on someone else to make it better. And that's what happens. We rely so much on other people to sort our own problems instead of taking them on ourselves.
Can't work about ourselves.
We just... Tell them, you know, like, I'm just saying, like, that's just an example. They fall over, they scrape their knee. Fucking point them to the first aid kit. Tell them to fix it up themselves. You know? Like, mummy, daddy's not going to be around forever. You're going to be out on the big, bad world on your own, you know, one of these days. And
yeah, but some of us have other people to pick up after us, so Josh, so it's all right. We don't always have to be independent.
Yeah, get out of my house.
No, where were we going with that? Mental health.
I have no idea.
But all right, no, I'm going to change the subject because mental health. It's a bit of a touchy one. I don't want to offend anyone on the first potty.
How long have we been going for?
26 minutes and 30 seconds. I don't want to offend anyone on the first potty. I don't know how long this should go for. I don't know if we should do half hour or an hour for the first one.
Half hour's good because I really got to piss.
Well, you can go and piss, but I want to talk about something that I've been thinking about a lot lately, and that would be, you know how we all have these dreams of winning the lotto, and like all the things we do with the money, but no one ever sits back and thinks about what happens when the novelty wears off? What happens when you get bored? Like, for example, I was thinking about...
The novelty wears off. I'll tell you what'll get you really excited. Take the whole lot down to the fucking casino and throw it all on black. That'll get your heart racing.
Nah, but I'm talking about, like... say you're playing, like, GTA or something, one of them games, and you fucking... finally figure out how to get the cheats to get all the money and the weapons and the cars and the helicopters and everything, and after a while it gets bored. Now, no, that's not real life. And I know that there's... But I just think it translates into real life. Like, if you've got all the money in the world that you ever wanted, and then you get everything that you've ever wanted in life, and then... like, you've got everything. You've got a big house, you've got a nice car, you got this, you got that, you go everywhere. Well, you can't travel at the moment, but, like, you know, you travel the world because you've won something stupid like $120 million frickin' dollars, and you just got all this money to just go everywhere, get whatever you want, do whatever you want. Do you think it's going to come a point in time where you're like, well, this is a bit shit now?
This is my motto, or whatever you want to call it, but how I see it is nothing feels as good when you know you've actually worked your ass off to get it. You've put in them shithouse hours at work, fucking driving your truck or building your houses or picking up dog shit.
Digging your holes.
Digging holes. You work, you grind. That you're seeing. You're doing it for a reason. There's a light at the end of the tunnel.
De-escalating bloody heightened children.
yeah, that one. Just... yeah, I think you just appreciate things a lot more when you know you've earned it and you've worked for it yourself. And
on that, I'm the sort of person who I like the chase. So and that applies to everything in life. Like, I'm the sort of person that if I'm chasing a girl, for example, and like it's fun when you're chasing and you're getting teased and you're doing this and you're doing that, and then you get them and it gets freaking boring, which is why I'm not a relationship person. I can't stay in a sustained relationship for more than, what's my longest relationship? 5 months? Because I get bored because it's not the thrill's not there anymore. And I'm not a player. I don't go out and I don't chase every chick there is. But because we both know.
You'd actually be decent looking to be a player, mate.
Yeah, and we both know that I get fascinated on the same chicks. But I like the fact that you break up and you have a mad big fight. And then the chase is on again. You try and get them back again. And I don't know if that's fucking psychopathic or
I don't know. Are you stalking the house at 3 o'clock in the morning to make sure there's no one else there, or
no, nothing like that. But I mean,
hiding in their cupboard?
No, you just start the whole messaging thing again, and after a while, the trust is built back up, and you start talking, and it's all fresh in that again. And it's the honeymoon period. I hate when the honeymoon period freaking.
You talk about that trust though. You know what staggered stairs look like though when you're walking down, you got your highest point. By the time you keep breaking that trust down and building it back up, it's going to look like a fucking staircase. And you just got to move on.
No.
Move on. No, I get it. The chase is fun.
Josh, this isn't talking about relationships.
But you went there. And this is what you talk about the chase.
Got to move on.
Don't keep chasing the same person.
Jesus Christ!
You get up me, Troy.
That's the kettle call of the pot black there, mate. Fucking
not chasing the.
You're talking to the same two girls you've been with in the last fucking 2 years. I'm only talking to one, and that's because potentially she's got my kid in her guts. I kind of have to keep them communications open.
I don't want anything out of that, Troy. I've told you multiple times. I don't know why we're talking about this now, but. The chase is fun when you get to meet new people and find out things about you. Yeah, some might be arseholes, but, it's all experience. You're chasing the same people all the time. You're fucking learning nothing new.
Anyway, what I was
You just keep dealing
with
the same shit over and over again, But
we've
really gone off track here.
We're not talking about relationships. This isn't what this is about, because fuck that. I'm not good at them. What I was talking about is I like the chase for things. So, I like the fact that I don't have money. I like the idea that one day, possibly, one in fucking 5 million chances of winning the lotto or whatever.
I think it's 42 million or something.
1 in 42 million, whatever. What if that's you?
It's a big fucking number. I know some people that have won it, and holy Jesus.
You got more chance of being struck by fucking lightning. But, I think about all the fun things I could do with that money, but I think what I enjoy, I think the best part about that is the whole
the hope.
In the imagination, and it keeps you going. Realistically, you're never going to win the lotto in your lifetime. You're never going to win it, but sometimes, if that's all, and then coming back to the mental health thing, sometimes that's all it takes to get through to another day, is the hope or the faith, or not faith, but the hope that you're going to, something better's going to happen tomorrow.
Like when you're having a really shit day at work and you got the hope that there's still that one fucking beer left in there and your housemate hasn't drank it.
Yeah.
You hold on to that hope. Fucking scraping on all day. You get that taste in your mouth at 9 o'clock in the morning,
Jesus.
And the hope's still there. It's the dream.
9 o'clock in the morning. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Nah. Look. I mean, I'm a breakfast beer man on the odd occasion, but if that's what you're thinking about every morning at work, I think you need to go and seek some higher help there, because
look, you do 10 days straight of the same stressful shit every fucking day, you'll be wanting a beer at fucking 6 o'clock in the morning.
Josh, I used to work in the same industry, mate, and I don't think that's the buzzer. We're out of time here. Thanks for joining us, guys. It's been, what have we done? 33:45. So that's been our podcast today. It's
bit scratchy because we didn't really have anything to really talk about. We kind of just thrown it together. We went off track a little bit there.
It was an impromptu pod.
Bit of an impromptu one there. But
what did we end up calling it? Lounge chats.
Lounge chats.
Lounge chats with Troy.
Yep.
And I'll probably get in some mates over the... Well, shit. The podcasts are generally meant to set them up so they last for forever, but we'll just see how this one goes. See if I can get it up onto one of the platforms and get any sort of interest. But we're very boring. But
we'll have more interesting.
Yeah, well, look, I'm going to have to start reading and watching the news just to, come up with some more fascinating topics to
I reckon
talk about.
next time we set it up around the table outside, we can call it Deck Chair Chats and fucking...
I'm not changing the title. It's going to be Lounge Chats because I'm not having fucking wind blowing through me in the middle of winter.
Yeah, whatever.
It's going to be cold this winter. Oh, actually, before we go, we should just talk about this whole solar minimum thing. This winter is going to be fucking freezing. So, if you're out there and you have a fireplace in your house, because someone, I don't know what's going on with this. Apparently, when that light flashes on the air conditioner there, it means that there's something wrong with it and you need to call like a Sparky.
I don't understand why you keep turning it on. I mean, I'm the one that pays the fucking power bill.
That turned on automatically.
It's the timer, dickhead. That's what's flashing.
Yeah, but I googled this shit. I've tried to turn the timer off and it doesn't work. But anyway, who cares? We're not talking about the thing. Solar minimum. The sun has gone into lockdown of sorts, and so the temperature's going to drop by 2 degrees on the globe,
2020's really trying to fuck us.
Which is a large drop. And, it could cause famine and stuff. But, maybe we'll talk about that next episode because I really need to go to the toilet. So I'm going to wrap this up. And, this has been Lounge Chats with Troy. And my guest today was my very own brother, or twin brother, Joshua. Thanks for having a chat, Joshua. I hope you have a good day, mate. And
I'm going to get a massage.
Oh, that's always lovely. All right, thanks for tuning in, guys, and we'll see you next time on Lounge Chats with Troy.